always pouring strong. Talking Tigers all morning long. Saints exceed headlines on the screen. Breaking it down with a little caffeine. Grab your mug, come on in. Let's wake this day and let it begin. It's morning scone. Everybody on. Coffee's hot and the news is strong. Purple gold, black and gold. Stories waiting to be told from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. Talking sports and everything between. Wake up, smile, let's get it on. Start your day with morning scone. It's morning scone. Everybody on. Coffee's hot and the news is strong. Purple gold, black and gold. Stories waiting to be told from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. Talking sports and everything between. Wake up, smile, let's get it on. Start your day with morning scone. Where the coffee's hot, the takes are hotter.
Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Friday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. Need orthopedics? Go to Brock. Want a free fortified roof? Enter today at parishbuilt.com. Unique physique, unique aesthetics and wellness. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Boom. Koch Brothers Premium Cigars. Code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15 for 15% off your order. And of course, FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Speaking of the championship health partner and partners of LSU Athletics, I shouldn't say there's only one championship health partner, but LSU, how about it, y'all? We broke the story on Thursday over at LouisianaSports.net. The top 40 boosters at LSU have been invited to an informational meeting at the governor's mansion there on August the 3rd. There'll be two meetings, August 3rd, August 5th. It will be a presentation by LSU System President Dr. Wade Roos on the financial future of LSU athletics. And as I understand it, Dr. Roos has been working for some time on a new financial strategy that will help carry LSU athletics into this new era. As everyone has used the phrase, it's not sustainable, it's not sustainable, it's not sustainable. And it's true. There's a reason everyone keeps saying that. And it's not, because what's funding LSU athletics right now is donor dollars and revenue generation, as it has been for years. Ticket sales, parking, merch, TV contracts, etc. And y'all, I've been saying this for more than a year. And this isn't a back pat. It's just to say, like, this isn't something new. Most athletic departments operate at break even or a loss. Most. LSU athletics did over $200 million in revenue a year ago and lost money because you have giant coaching contracts and you have huge salary budgets recruiting budgets and travel budgets and scholarships and all the expenses that go into running a giant athletic department. And on top of that, you're supplemented by TAF, which is a 501c3 nonprofit. And it's that's funded by donor dollars. There's no state money here. But when you continue to see roster budgets going up and everyone added a $20.5 million line item with revenue share, just think of this. This is really, I don't math, but this is easy. If you operate at break even, and then in 1 year, all of a sudden, boom, here's a $20 million line item in your budget that was not there the year before. Well, you either have to find $20 million in new revenue, cut $20 million in expenses, or balance between the two. It's not easy. And they've done a good job with Venture Global on the field, the Woodside Energy jersey patches to generate revenue, but expenses aren't necessarily going down. And I had a conversation off the record with someone internally at LSU about, if they did lean out, how much they thought they could save. And it's not a significant enough amount of money to really make a dent, to fix your problem. So all that to say, you have to find a new revenue structure. And so that's apparently what Dr. Roos is going to present to these top 40 donors on August the 3rd. Now, the letter, point blank in no uncertain terms, said this is not a fundraiser. It is not an ask for money. It is information for these folks to go and get information on the future of LSU athletics. So we shall see what comes of this. We'll say some good mornings here. Kelly Gross, good morning. Henry, good morning, Matt. Are you in the top 40 donors? Inquiring minds want to know. I don't know if you're being facetious. And I don't want to assume that you don't know. But Henry, I'm guessing you're joking. But the fact that some people wouldn't know the answer to that is an illustration of just how much lack of awareness and understanding there is about how money and revenue flows through LSU athletics and all that sort of stuff. Henry, I think you're being facetious, but no, I'm not. And just in the name of full disclosure, I do not give money to LSU athletics. I do give money to the Manship School of Mass Communication, where I graduated from at LSU. I give money to my school. I do not give money to LSU athletics. I think that is a strong conflict of interest. So I do not give money to LSU athletics. And no, I am not in the top 40. I am not invited to the meeting at the governor's mansion. I would love to be there. But I do suspect one of two things will happen. Either because I did yesterday speak to a handful of people who are in the top 40 and who will be at that meeting. And I suspect there's a few things that'll happen. One is the minute that meeting adjourns, my phone and other people's phones will ring and we'll know exactly what's going on. And maybe more likely is that sometime over the next 3 weeks, before that meeting, it leaks because there's so many people. Listen, I broke the story yesterday. I'm obviously connected. You have people on the on that university side and on the athletic side who cover LSU that are going to be digging. You have people who cover the business of sports, if it's front office sports or any of the trades that are doing the Sports Business Journal that handle the business side of sports that are going to be digging in. Ross Dellinger, people who this is what they do professionally, is cover this type of stuff. They're going to be digging with every possible resource and connection they have to find the answer to what this is. So I don't even know that it makes it 3 more weeks under wraps. Hey, Chris, I see Piper Hutchinson now has her sights set on the donor meeting. She really has an issue with LSU. I don't know that I don't know Piper Hutchinson. I don't know that she has an issue with LSU. I think she's doing her job. She is a reporter. Her job is to report on the goings on at the university. And when the university president calls a meeting, the top 40 boosters to LSU athletics at the governor's mansion, if she's not covering that, she's not doing her job. Hey, Sylvain, good morning. The Big 12 Monster Energy deal seems insanely low to only get $20 million for field logos patches for the entire conference. It does feel extremely low, but you're probably also looking at it through the lens of what the SEC could get. Remember, Texas and Oklahoma are no longer in that conference. And as a result, that conference was gutted. Where are the brands? Where are the brand names in the Big 12? Arizona State, Arizona, BYU, Baylor, Cincinnati, Colorado, Houston, Iowa State, Kansas, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, TCU, Texas Tech, UCF, Utah, and West Virginia. Where are the brand names? I mean, what are you paying for? Chuck, what up, man? Good morning. Michael, good morning. Brett, good morning. Let's see, Survivor. The inflated price on hotels for the first game is ridiculous. 5 times increased price. Cool. Don't stay in a hotel. Cassandra, good morning. Connor, morning, Matt. Wonder how many people's day was ruined yesterday after giving their life savings to LSU, thinking they were a guaranteed top donor, only to find they didn't make the cut. You know what was funny is how many people, when I broke that news, made some type of crack about like whoever number 41 is on the list. It's pretty true. Hey, Robin, good morning. Stat Dub, good morning. Mary, good morning from the 318. Happy Friday. Falcon, good morning. New show idea. E-Rock reading morning scone messages from the backseat fueled by E-Rock's favorite daiquiri. Erica? New show idea. E-Rock reading morning scone messages from the backseat fueled by E-Rock's favorite daiquiri. I got a lot of messages about some of your mispronunciations. Well, you had a few notable mispronunciations the other day. Hey, Braylon. Hey, Braden, what up, dude? Good morning. Let's see, Matt. I was having a conversation with a Mississippi State guy that was saying their baseball program makes money. Is that possible with size Duty Noble and how invested their fans in baseball? So the only way baseball makes money is premium seating. So with suites and tradition funds, things like that. Mississippi State's a public university, so I can actually find this out real quickly. Does let's see. Mississippi State baseball has operated at least $1 million deficit every year since 2011. In the most recent financial report, they reported a $4.2 million deficit, generating $3.38 in revenue against $7.58 in operating expenses. So no, Mississippi State does not make money in baseball. Nobody really does. Nobody does it better than LSU as far as revenue generation for baseball and ticket sales and suites and all that sort of stuff. And LSU operates at a loss. So no, Mississippi State does not make money in baseball. And that's not me guessing. That's like, I mean, it's a public university that information is public record. Adam, good morning. Alan, good morning. Bailey, I've noticed you tend to be more emotional with your Saints commentary than LSU. Is that because you cover LSU, want to maintain more professionalism? Bailey, well, a couple things. Number one, I think it depends on what platform I'm on. Like if I'm doing post-game whiskey and wine, a little more emotional. Post-game after Saints, emotional. I could certainly point to many instances of me being emotional talking about LSU. I think it probably just depends. Depends on the topic. I think it depends on expectations. I think the Saints recently have gone through a transformative period. You know, for 15 years, it was the highlight of the organization. And then Drew Brees retired, Sean Payton left. And I've just vehemently disagreed with the path Mickey Loomis was following with the organization. And so I was very outspoken about that. Anyway, you're not a TAF member. I'm not. I am not a member of TAF. I was right after I graduated from LSU, before I was covering the school. I did pay TAF dues, whatever, $50, $100, whatever it was. But no, I do not. I am not a member of TAF. Eli, good morning. Gray, so depending on Levitt's health, The floor is 7-5, 8-4, with the ceiling being a natty. Very unlikely ceiling. It is healthy, but ceiling nonetheless. Yeah, I don't know, Gray, that you can say that's an unlikely ceiling. I mean, we just watched Indiana win the national championship with a first-year transfer quarterback and an old roster. They were well coached. You just have to get into the 12-team playoff, and hope you have a good draw. Gulf South, any reason why it's top 40, not top 50? Seems like an odd number. Is there a huge drop-off in money after the top 40? So it's a good question. It's a very fair question. It's like, how do you arbitrarily gauge what that number is? Well, you have to cut it off somewhere, right? And then my guess would be, yes, you could probably see a delineation there after, say, 40, where you would see a big gap, which is probably where they drew the line. That may have to do with suites and different things like that as well. Hey, Robbie, good morning. Back-to-back years for two future first ballot MLB Hall of Fame pitchers. Clayton Kershaw retiring. Justin Verlander announced he'll retire after the season's over. Two great ones, man. Michael Cook, good morning. Hey, Brad, I would never have thought Dr. Roos has a good financial mind. Why? I mean, it's been interesting to me to see a lot of people learn about Dr. Wade Roos here in the last 24 hours. And I've gotten calls. I did a show this morning in Memphis. I'm going on Sirius XM later today. I've gotten calls from Atlanta, from all the people wanting to talk about the story since we broke it yesterday at LouisianaSports.net. And the line that I'd say everywhere, I've said before, I said on Locked On today, everywhere, is there's a lot of people that are going to underestimate Dr. Roos because he's from Cutoff, Louisiana, and sounds like he's from Cutoff, Louisiana. And that would be a huge mistake, because I'm telling you, as someone who's had the pleasure to spend some time with Dr. Roos, he is brilliant. He is a brilliant man. And and most people, I shouldn't say most, I would say most people in higher education that I have encountered over the years are people who are career academics. You start as a professor and then work your way up in administration and so on. Dr. Roos followed a very atypical path. He worked in finance, had a whole career in finance, and then started in higher education and started at the bottom, like as an associate professor and then professor, tenured, and then worked his way up through administration. I think most people just think, oh, he was the guy that was the President McNeese that LSU hired. And it's like, he was that. But what you need to know is the 30 years before that to really understand the scope. And I mean, a huge part of his job is in fixing higher education in Louisiana is financial in nature. Hey, Robbie, will you do morning Scone normal time on Monday? Yeah, so Drew's back to St. Lillian on Monday, so we'll crank up at 7:15 on Monday, back to our regular summer schedule for that week. And then the next week, I'm at SEC Media Days. So we'll do it when we can. Hey, Jason, does anyone know what happened with the Section 412 RV parking lot? A ton of people rejected with no explanation this year. I don't. I'm not even sure where that is or what that means. But if you send me some information, I'm more than happy to ask. Hey, Deborah, good morning. Have you seen my lemon plates yet? I started making them after my knee replacement. Deborah, I have not. I think you told me you texted, didn't you? Let's see, Deborah. Hang on. I'm trying to, of course, this thing isn't going to load. Let's see. I think that's you. Oh, I see it. Here you go. Very cool. So I don't think you make the glass, right? So this is what Deborah sent. Like you just paint them? Like the design on there? Very cool. Be a wonderful display for Erica's lemon cookies. All right, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post, podcast, subscribe on your favorite podcast app. What's going on here with the blurry screen? Hang on. Hold on. Real quick. I want to fix this camera real quick. Hang on. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get back into it. Hey, William, good morning. Let's see. Matt, being a St. Paul's alum, I hope to watch St. Paul's play Brother Martin in football in Covington. Watch Eastern Royal. Is he still deciding between Texas or LSU? Texas, LSU, and Florida are his three finalists, and people in his camp told Sam Spiegelman earlier this week that he plans to make a final decision before August. So by the end of this month, we should know definitively what Eastern Royal plans to do. Brad, so a lot of people in the national media are critical of the governor being involved in the meeting. So I think it's important to note that the governor is not presenting. Dr. Roos is presenting. But it's important also to remember that LSU is part of the LSU system. The governor appoints the members of the Board of Supervisors, and Dr. Roos was the governor's endorsed candidate for the president's job, which was ratified by the Board of Supervisors who were appointed by the governor. So, yes, it's all interwoven, and that's not just a Jeff Landry thing. Look, John Bell Edwards was involved at LSU a lot. I mean, he used to put on a practice jersey and go throw passes with the team in 2019 at the indoor, which, fine. Before that, Bobby Jindal. I remember in 2009, as the state was, hat in hand, hoping to lack of minimize budget cuts for higher ed, when they had the Clockett game in 2009, the Ole Miss game, Bobby Jindal, there were boosters that wanted to fire Les Miles after that game. And Bobby Jindal intervened. It was like, it's a terrible look as we try to reduce, costs cutting to higher education to the legislature. If you go spend $54 million, or whatever would have been at that, not 54, whatever it was to buy out Les at that time. So governors get involved. It happens, left and right. JWB, good morning, Matt. Can't wait to hear the details about the financial plan. Thanks for all you do. Working on getting some more. Survive, good morning. From the front of a hot Cintas truck. Have a great day, man. Crank that AC up. Let's see. If PE has proven anything from healthcare to real estate, they will want their say in every decision to squeeze every potential penny from profit that usually doesn't favor the buyer in their experience. That's true. Here's the point about that. If my assumption is obviously they're going to take capital from somewhere. Okay. I don't know how you get around that component of it. Where they take capital from, though, I think is going to be interesting. To your point about PE, which is talking about private equity, how, if this is a straight private equity play, and I said this on Locked On, this is the line. I'm reading the letter right now that went out to the boosters because I got it yesterday morning. The line reads, to get a first look at an alternative revenue generating opportunity for LSU athletics that is first of its kind nationally and could quite possibly change the future of college sports in America. Okay, well, that's not private equity. We've already talked about it. Big 12, Big 10, Utah, Michigan State. There's lots of teams and leagues that have already done private equity deals. So if you're saying this is a first of its kind revenue strategy, well, that's not private equity is not a first of its kind. So that's why I keep going. I understand with the comment that the gentleman just made. I understand and agree, because if private equity gives you 9 figures, they're not just going to sit idly by and let you do what you want with their money. He's right. They're going to want to say in processes and how to make you more efficient. And maybe that's cutting personnel. Maybe that's, implementing AI systems to streamline processes, to reduce expenses, to improve the bot. He's right. That's a thing that would happen if you bring private equity money. But again, that's not a first of its kind revenue generation that'll change college sports forever. So that's what I think is the interesting point here. It can't just be a straight private equity deal, or that line is disingenuous. Hey, David, good morning. I see Matt surprised McNeese signed baseball coach Justin Hill to 4-year extension. He's the best coach in McNeese history. I'm surprised he didn't leave for a better job. We got to be offered a better job to leave for a better job. Hey, Jay, Bobby, Abner, Bailey, if there's one thing last year taught us, it's what's on paper doesn't always manifest. I feel like giving predictions for college football is harder than ever with such turnover. I agree. Michael, still waiting on E-Rock's lemon cookie recipe. Ooh, E-Rock. They want your lemon cookie recipe. Steven, good morning from the Smokies. All right. Tyrone, good morning. Going through a heartbreak. I feel like drinking my sorrow away. How's life been going, Matt? Hey, man. Life's going great. And I want to remind you this. No matter what happened, that the greatest gift we have is being alive. And part of living is feeling all the emotions. If it's the joy and the highs and even heartbreak and the lows, because when you go through bad times, it makes the good times feel that much better. So just know that that I love you, and there's a loving God that loves you as well. And everybody here on Morning Scone loves you too, Tyrone. So don't let it get you down, man. Take a deep breath and just start. You know what, it works for me? Like when I wake up in the morning every day, the first thing I do, seriously, when I put my feet on the ground, I go, thank you. As I put my 2 feet on the ground, you start rattling things that you're thankful for. Thank you for life. Thank you for the opportunity to live another day, to glorify you in all that I do. Thank you for my family. Thank you for Erica. Thank you for Drew. Just start rattling all the things you're thankful for. Change your mood pretty quickly, man. Hey, Carrie, good morning. Chuck, shout out to the finance majors. Thank you very much. Chuck Nelson, BBA, Finance, Howard University, Howard. There you go. Smart guys, man. I wasn't that smart, Chuck. I don't do math and numbers very well. Phil, good morning. JW, being originally from Lake Charles, Dr. Roos did great things at McNeese. Excited about what he's going to do at LSU. He was an incredible, and I didn't know everything about what he did at McNeese. He was recently, I'll give you this. He was recently on, I've really enjoyed Michael Hackett's podcast, Alligator Shoes. Eric had to listen to like 10 of those episodes during the drive because I've really enjoyed them. Here, I'm going to put this in. This was an interview that Dr. Roos did on Alligator Shoes. I'm sharing it in the comment section. And you'll get a sense of who he is. Well, he was there obviously after the storms in 20 and 21. And I didn't know this, but like, you know, he had a home in Lake Charles and they were one of the first to get their home rebuilt, he and his wife. And his wife he tells the story, but his wife told him, you know, we're living here. You know, we're telling people to come back to Lake Charles and students to come to McNeese, but we're living here in this beautiful lake house that's redone, and there's students living in the dorms that are still, you know, damaged. So they moved into the dorm. Wade Roos, president of McNeese, and his wife moved into the dorm and lived there in their dorm room until he took the job at LSU. How about that? I'm telling you, man, really impressive human. You got the right guy leading the way. Hey, Bubba, good morning. Bailey, does LSU Clemson line seem crazy to you? I understand Clemson had slipped from their perch, still a proud program. 11.5. I wouldn't have thought 11.5. That seems high, but I kind of get it. You know, Clemson was a 7-16 last year, so was LSU. But I don't think they're better at quarterback. They lost a ton of their offensive weapons. They lost their best players defensively at every level. So, and they're not really a portal team. And they're walking into a total buzzsaw in Baton Rouge that day. It is going to be peak Tiger Stadium against Clemson. So I think he's kind of up against it. Let's see. A couple more. Jeffrey, good morning. Shelby, no private equity pump and dump as they normally do. Hey, Dad, good morning. You got it. Was helping my dad get his YouTube channel together. Deacon Jody Daily, if you want to check it out. Does daily, it's a daily explanation of the Bible readings for that day. My dad, as I mentioned, is a Catholic deacon. So if you're interested, Deacon Jody, Jodi, Deacon Jody Daily, if you're interested. Actually, you know, I can share that channel in here as well. Hang on. Deacon Jody. Copy. Here you go. Need to get subscribers up. Go, if you would, you don't mind, go subscribe to Deacon Jody's channel. It'd be great. Get those subs up a little bit. Marrero. Let's see. Even if Levitt looks great in camp, could you see yourself predicting higher than 10-2? Probably not. 10-2 is probably the highest I'd pick. I'll probably settle somewhere between either 8-4, 10-2. Maybe I'll split the difference and call it 9-3, but I haven't decided yet. Hey, Thomas, good morning. Aaron, peace and strength to you, to Tyrone. Be blessed, all from the Scone family. Amen to that. Yes, sir, Tyrone. You got it, man. Head up. Finance majors unite. Numbers are what I'm great at. I hated grammar. See, we all have strengths and weaknesses. Hey, Ryan, good morning. Is this memo that went out to donors basically saying we're going broke? I mean, everyone is. Like, that's the point. Like, and I don't think, all of the buyouts have accelerated that because, remember, we talked about this, state dollars are not paying that, and the buyout money is not coming from the LSU athletic department budget. That's coming from private dollars subsidized by TAF. So TAF has reserves, but they're not endless reserves. So if you go commit to $70 million in buyouts with Brian Kelly and Matt McMahon and Scott Woodward, and you're paying $3 million to buy out Lane Kiffin from Ole Miss, and then $4 million for Will Wade. I mean, you're talking over $70 million. Boom. Well, like, it's the TAF reserves aren't limitless. So you start draining that account. Well, you look around and you go, well, what do we do? You better go find revenue somewhere. And you can't just go ask the top 40 donors, hey, let's pass the hat. We need $200 million. That's not really how it works. They'll be like, kick rocks, not interested. So, interesting.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish Built. Parish Built. Parish Built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
Okay. If donors wanted Les fired in 2009, they must have really wanted him fired a year later when they messed up the clock in the Tennessee game. How fast does Max finish Connor Saturday? I'll go second round TKO. Chance, is having the university president living in dorms kind of like having your parents live there? I don't know, man. I think that's living by action speaking louder than words, letting your actions do the talking. Matt, hope you get one of my favorite LSU baseball players, Blake Dean, on AFR. Hope to see him coach again. I think Blake is out of coaching. I haven't talked to Blake in a while. I'd love to get him on the show, see what he's up to. Let's see. What would you recommend from Supper Club? Recently booked my reservation. Love that. Actually, Eric and I are going tomorrow night, birthday dinner. So my recommendation, it depends what you like. If you like steak, you can't go wrong with whatever is the Sagrera cut of the day. I've had everything. I've had the bone-in ribeye. I've had the Australian Wagyu. I've had the Omi beef, the herb beef. I've had it all. It really depends on what your preference is. So if you don't love steak, that's cool. I would recommend if you're going fish, go with the sea bass. If not fish, I would say go with the veal parm. I've raved about that veal parm. I dream about it. It's incredible. They bring the veal chop on the bone to your table side, breaded, fried, and they bring a skillet with the cheese and the marinara and lay it over the veal chop table side so that way it doesn't get soggy. It's incredible. So it's really up to you. Like, do you want fish? Do you want steak? Do you want veal? Do you want lamb? Like, what do you like? But if you're going steak, you can't go wrong with any of the steak on that menu. But if you want, like, I tend to look for something different. And so every time they get a Sagrera cow in, there's a different cut. And so I'll typically look for something, whatever the Sagrera cut is that day. But then I'm a steak snob nerd. Kiffin needs a police escort leaving Oxford. Will feel like a walk in the park if he goes 8-4 with a reported $40 million roster. It's more than $40 million, by the way. Matt, ACs on Cintas truck work as good as ice cream machines at McDonald's. That was really good. Filet mignon. Get a filet. Get the filet. Like you can have a prime filet cut at Supper Club that you will absolutely love. Like don't confuse, don't complicate it. If you like a filet, get a filet. David, love hearing intellect expressed with a Southern accent. A favorite movie of seeing is Daniel Craig's Joe Bang explaining explosive chemistry, physics, and Logan Lucky. I don't know that I've seen that, but if you get a minute, watch the episode, the interview that Dr. Roos did on alligator shoes that I just shared. Y'all will enjoy it. Okay, I gotta go. Hi, you want to come say hi to Dad, Joe? He gone. All right, I got to go heading up to Goodwood, which of course also is where Unique Physique, Unique Aesthetics and Wellness is. Got to do some social content for them today. So I'm supposed to do it at 10:45. I'm supposed to be there in 14 minutes. I got to go. All right, y'all have an awesome day. Shout out as always to our great sponsors, linked in the description on YouTube, tagged on and on podcast. Y'all have an awesome day. Be sure you check if you want more on the top 40 donor meeting, all that stuff. I recorded a Locked On about it. It's live, podcast, YouTube. Please go check it out, like it, share it, all that stuff. I appreciate you. Y'all have an awesome day. Peace.